Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second annual episode of the Somewhat Minty podcast. I'm Matthew Garrison,
I'm Simon Moore.
and we're finally making episode 2.
After an entire year. I think
Yep.
it's been a year and some bit.
Well, yeah, it's been a year and some bit since we recorded the first episode, but we uploaded it sometime in either late June or early July. It hasn't been a year since the upload of the first episode, but also we're not recording this on the same day that you're seeing it. We're recording on Thursday, June 13th, is it?
I'm pretty sure it's the 13th.
And we will be uploading on Saturday the 15th. If those dates don't match up, then I'm correct on the weekdays, but not on the dates.
It just happens sometimes.
And,
Sometimes you have to wait for a picture to be drawn.
Yeah. But before we get into anything, I just want to give a massive shout out to our mutual friend, Logan Schutner, who has been hounding, I don't know if he's been hounding Simon, but he's certainly been hounding me to make this second episode.
I haven't gotten a single message from him about it, which kind of upsets me a bit.
I don't know, I guess he just thought I was in charge of it because it was in my basement, but...
That's a fair assumption. But I want to get spammed asking for episode 3.
But honestly, if it wasn't for those constant messages, I don't know if this episode would have even happened. But it did. But he did, and it did.
So what's going on since episode 1?
Oh, it's been a year. I mean, we've gone through our entire junior year since episode 1.
Yeah. Some good times.
Some bad times. You know?
That's just how life be.
But, let's just focus on the... I mean, we just came back from my brother-in-law's. Just about an hour. Well, actually, we just came back from the hardware store, but that's not really an important detail.
Right after.
Yeah, so... I've been working at Anthony's Pier 9 lately, and it sucks, dude. They slave you. It's like 20 minutes away, which is kind of my own fault. And you actually get paid more than minimum wage. It's like, because minimum wage is $11.10, they pay me $11.50. But I have to wear, like, all black and, like, a tie.
You said that dishwashers don't, right?
Yeah, no, the dishwashers and the cooks wear, like, gym shorts and, like, dirty T-shirts. It's actually really funny, because it's, like, you got, like, penguins running around, like, the black vest or whatever.
Yeah.
And also, like, me and, like, my, little tie. And then you got, like, these sweaty big dudes and, like, gym shorts.
Were all of the cooks giant dudes?
Yeah, they're all, like, really big dudes. Either in just, like, muscle mass or they're fat.
No
But
in-betweens?
Yeah, there's, like, like, bulky dudes. But they're all big dudes. There's no female dishwashers or chefs. So, Anthony's Pier 9, get on that. What are you doing? It's Pride Month.
Come on, guys.
Is it? Yeah, it'll still be
Diversity.
Pride Month when we upload this.
Hopefully, unless it takes forever for some reason.
Yeah, I know. We would be the ones to somehow mess this up and not get it uploaded
We would be.
for another year.
Well, after this episode, it's going to be another year because it's the annual podcast.
Oh, yeah. Of course, the annual podcast. Man, so it's been, a lot has changed. I mean, we thought in that last episode that we were going to be talking about the D&D campaign. That campaign isn't even happening anymore.
No, that's gone.
So, okay, let me tell you something. This kid, in the time between the last two podcasts, moved like 2 hours upstate and then came back. He lived there for what, like 5 months?
About end of school, like a month after school. I think it was July I went up. And then I came back at the very start of school. Not the very start of school.
Yeah, the very start of like third quarter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you came back right...
Halfway through the year.
Mm-hmm.
And I just showed up. Told nobody. My mom told Matt.
Yeah,
I wasn't planning to tell him.
So it was very funny because his master plan was don't tell anyone he's coming back, which is very funny. Except his mother told me that he was coming back while he was at my house, actually. I was like, Simon, you're coming back? And he was like, yeah, but how do you know that? But I have to admit, it's a very funny plan. But it was actually, she said to me right after, she said, okay, but it's a secret, so don't tell anybody. And I was like, well, you kind of just...
You kind of just ruined the secret, Mom.
Yeah, you kind of just told me. But yeah, I mean, if anyone remembers that D&D campaign we were talking about last time, with, Urihen and Uriel, Bolgroff and Arthur, yeah, that's over. And basically everyone except Urihen is as good as dead, because I didn't really want to NPC anyone else.
Urihen was the only good character.
Well, I mean, Arthur is just like, sellsword now, and the other two are just straight up
Arrested.
were executed for their
They
crimes.
got executed?
Yeah, they stole like literally several $1,000s worth of, or gold pieces worth of.
I thought they just got imprisoned.
Well, that happened first, and then they were executed.
How were they executed? Just out of curiosity.
Just decapitation.
The good old axe, or was that a guillotine?
They didn't deserve a guillotine, man. They just did it in their cell. Just brought in some dude. It was Arthur. It wasn't Arthur.
You should have made it Arthur.
Yeah, it's like that was his punishment. He had to kill his friends. Yeah, but that was a fun campaign for a while. But like all D&D campaigns, they always end when summer hits. I mean, we have this other one was DM'd by our friend Cooper, but then was DM'd by our friend Gordon, but it was still the same campaign. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, Cooper just decided, you know what? I don't want to DM anymore. Gordon can do it.
Yep.
And now he's doing it.
Except when we do
haven't
go,
played for a while.
yeah, and then when we do go, we don't really play. We kind of just like hang out and don't play a lot of D&D. Except it's like a terrible middle zone because we're there to play D&D, but like a lot of people don't even want to play D&D. So we're trying to just get everyone to play D&D, but like nobody really wants to. So it's like if we were just playing D&D or just hanging out, it'd be fine. But we just have like the worst of both worlds.
There's that campaign on Saturdays with me, you, and Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
We also haven't played that for a while.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, life just kind of got in the way. But
Yeah.
we can play on when this episode goes live. Yeah, when you are watching this episode, assuming you watched it as soon as it came out, we are probably playing D&D right now.
We're pretty cool guys.
But yeah, we could talk about that campaign actually. How you discovered a slave ring and blew up a wine cellar.
I don't think we blew it up on purpose, though.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, you didn't blow it up, but you caused it to be blown up.
Yeah, by discovering the slaves.
Yeah, you know how slaves be.
You know how slaves be. Just illegal.
The whole town.
50% of the towns.
Yeah, the whole town knew how slaves be, but they just pretended they didn't know how slaves be.
So now me and Dylan face a serious moral issue.
Mm-hmm. That's D&D, baby. Free the slaves or ruin the economy. Or wait, no, that's the same thing. To say ruin the economy or let people be slaves.
It's also a real religious problem too, seeing how we both worship Tyr, the god of justice.
Mm-hmm.
And that's against the law.
Yep.
Which isn't justice.
Yeah, it's also not very just to own slaves, even if it wasn't against the law.
So, we have to figure that out. It'd cause a major damage in the economy. Or we could just let it be. Difficult choice.
You know what we should talk about?
What's that?
The Peter redemption arc. Because when we uploaded the last episode, I mean, we never really hated Peter. For some reason, everyone said we did, but I don't think any of us really ever hated Peter.
It was just the meme of the time.
At least I didn't. I mean, maybe, like, I don't know, like Casey and, like, Gordon maybe did, like, when we were sophomores.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, now, like, we all adore Peter. He sat at our table with us. Here's that picture right here. I'm not going to do that.
We don't even have a picture of him sitting with us, do we?
Yeah, Dylan posted on his story. He's like, we got Peter.
I know we have the other pictures where, like, Peter and Ben have that big ol' hug. That's a good picture.
That is a really good
That's
picture.
a really good picture. And
You know
we
what?
got me, you, Danny, and him.
Mm-hmm.
That's also a really good picture.
Isn't that still your background?
I changed it to me, Danny, and
Jack.
Jack doing a JoJo pose.
Of course. You
But I still have that
weeb.
super pixelated one. I'm not going to change that in fear of not being able to get it back.
Yeah. You know what I'm excited for next year in terms of drama club?
What's that?
We're gonna be seniors, and subsequently every other crew will either be people our age or younger than us. So I don't think we have to be afraid of hug crew anymore.
Maybe we can finally get the Beachwalkers bio.
Or just anything. It doesn't even have to be that.
Yeah,
I mean,
anything that's not bland and generic and boring.
Okay, so let me ask a question to our podcast viewers. So we might have already talked about this in the last episode, but I don't care. I'm going to say it again. So there's a rule in our drama club. Basically, we have these bios that go under our picture in the program, and they say don't put anything stupid or like inappropriate, and that's fine, right? So when we were freshmen during Triangle, was it during? No, it was during Triangle. It wasn't.
Yeah, it was Triangle. That was the first show we did.
We were like, oh, let's all put that we like long walks on the beach in our bio, because that'll be, like a little, oh, look, everyone in Lights Crew likes long walks on the beach. And we were, like, reamed for that. Like, they called us out specifically, like, during a general meeting. They're like, and whoever, I'm not going to do a mean voice. Oh, wait, she's gone. She doesn't even, whoever wrote long walks on the beach, don't, because that's stupid. And we're like, oh, wow, that's kind of mean. So, from then on, we've been just trying to get, like, actual good things. So, the most recent one we did, there was a joke that we split into, like, 7 parts, however many people are in Lights Crew. Oh, yeah, he wasn't there for this, but we split a joke into 7 parts, and every one of our bios had a part of the joke, and in alphabetical order, if you followed us through, you would complete the joke. And the joke was, so a guy walks into a bar, and his head is an orange, right? So the bartender says, yo, why is your head an orange? And the guy says, oh, well, you see, I found a genie, and he gave me 3 wishes. And the guy says, what the hell did you wish for that made your head an orange? And the guy says, well, for my first wish, I wished I had a beautiful wife. And the bartender's like, yeah, okay, so? And the guy says, well, okay, for my second wish, I wished I was a billionaire. And the bartender says, all right, well, what was your third wish? What could you have possibly wished for that made your head an orange? He says, I don't want to say, it's embarrassing. And the guy says, all right, well, I'll buy you a drink if you tell me what your third wish was. He says, okay, I'll tell you. For my third wish, I wished my head was an orange. And that's the joke.
It's such a good joke, because you don't expect them to say that.
Yeah, it's the defines.
Oh, that's no good at all.
Oh, wow, that might sound terrible. Got a little blooper here, ladies and gentlemen. Simon dropped his microphone.
I don't even know what happened. All right, we're back in business.
Your mic sounds good?
Back in business.
All right, wow.
I don't know what I did, but...
Yeah, the only problem with all this new equipment is that, we got some growing pains. It's a lot more complicated. Oh, all this new equipment we haven't even addressed.
I
Hi,
thought
guys.
we weren't going to mention it.
Let's mention it, because I just did. But, I mean, like, we didn't even mention... Yeah, last time we did this, we were on a table with my laptop camera and this one mic.
Table right... It was actually over there.
Yeah, it was over there.
We had the camera there.
We don't actually have in frame what we were before. We're still in my basement, don't worry. We added some stuff to the set. We got the SS Fortnite flag up there. Sponsored by Bubbly. But yeah, we've been saving up for this stuff, and recently I got some money for my birthday, so we were finally able to get it all. We got these mic stands. I've already had this and this. But we got that mic, the camera you're looking at, and some looking through. Yeah. My bad. And some very long USB cords. Maybe we'll do a little studio tour, and I'll throw it in at the end. Like I'll record it with my phone or something. But yeah, basically there's 2 very long USB cords that come through here. Then one of them splits into our 2 mics, and then one of them goes into that camera. And it's a very janky setup because the USBs just lead directly to my computer. So they have to go through the cat door, on our basement door, through the hallway, into my room.
Into the computer. And then you have to click go from there.
Yeah, I have to
walk down here. And then we start going.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to cut out like a good 30 seconds of me just waiting to get to. Actually, we get to finish with this mic stand for a good while, because these things are cheap. They're Amazon basics, so you get what you pay. They look nice, but they if you push it a little bit, it's gonna fall over.
It might be partly because it's on a carpet, but
yeah, it certainly doesn't help that it's on carpet, but it's also cheap.
Yeah. What else did we get?
These chairs? No, we've always had these chairs. They're just sitting in my house. The camera's actually on a chair too, because the tripod we got for the camera,
way too short.
It's literally, what is that, like 2 feet max?
Maybe. If we just had it on the ground, you wouldn't be able to see our upper bodies.
I mean, we could angle it up, but then it would be like such a weird
Looking
angle coming at it. Especially since this is such a wide-angled camera.
Yeah, it is. Isn't it 90 degrees?
Yeah, it's a 90 degree. Actually, that might not even be that wide. It's like wider than like a phone camera, but in terms of like professional cameras, I think it's actually on the lower end.
Well, how high do they go?
I think they can go up to like literally 180.
That's a big camera.
I mean, there's 360-degree cameras, but
how much would those cost? Then that's the real question.
I think you can get them for fairly cheap, like in like 150, something like that. Oh, funny story actually about these USB cables. So we thought, hey, maybe instead of running them through the hallway, or at least I thought this. I don't know. Yeah, Simon didn't really have this little
I wasn't here when
moment.
you had the epiphany.
Yeah. So I was like, well, I'm in the basement, and my room is above the basement, so why don't I just drill a hole in the floor and just loop the wire through that. And well, needless to say, that didn't work because I got the like A-OK for my mom and everything, and I was drilling for about an hour, and then there's a chunk out of that ceiling in that corner. They can't see it,
Right
but
above the mattress, in case you can.
and there's a huge hole in the corner of my room, but they do not line up. There's a bunch of insulation and wood in between the floor and the ceiling. It didn't work very well, so now we just run them. But we did figure out that we can run the wires through the cat door in our basement door, so we can actually close the basement door. Because right now, my mom and sister are home, so if we had to leave that door open, you might be able to hear them if they yell at each other, which they do a lot.
Only concern is if somebody steps on one of the wires and accidentally pulls it, but I doubt that's going to happen with all the slack we have.
Mm-hmm. See, that's what I actually kept that in mind, because when I was doing one of the tests, the wire got pulled on the video, and or when I was testing the camera, because we used to only have one USB cord
For the one mic.
for the mic, your mic and the camera is all on one, and there's like
Oh yeah, you're talking.
it was using too much bandwidth. I thought the camera was just broken, so I was testing it on its own, and I accidentally bumped the USB, and the camera just froze. Like if that gets disconnected for a second, when it gets reconnected, it won't go back. It'll just freeze. So that's why I made sure to leave a lot of slack on the video end, which is why I took the video wire.
That's clever, because I wouldn't have thought to do that.
Yeah, if the mics get disconnected and then reconnected, we'll just be cut out for a second, but it'll go back.
So that's not too much of a problem.
And even if the video does freeze, it's not a huge deal. Hey, you might be listening to this on Spotify right now, because we're definitely going to try to get this on Spotify.
Try is a big word there.
Yeah, try is a big word. I think we meet all the criteria. It had to be like a certain bit rate, which I don't think is a problem. I definitely don't think we're too low, and if we're too high, we can always just lower it.
Mm-hmm. If it's on Spotify, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean...
Because then there's no video, and we just spend all this money on this camera.
Yeah, but I mean, our main target's always going to be YouTube, but...
That's true.
It's just nice to put it wherever we can.
Then you can just walk around, have your phone off, listen to the podcast,
Mm-hmm.
enjoy your
We
time.
listen to our own podcast. Just talk about hubris, listening to your own podcast. It's like, wow, this is really good. I should tell people about this, and I will.
Because it's mine.
Yeah. So, in terms of schedule, I mean, we're kind of joking about the annual podcast thing. We're gonna try, that's the big word, to have a new episode out every Saturday at noon, which is actually when we were talking about resetting my Minecraft server a little bit ago. And I was a little worried. I was like, oh, I hope they don't decide to do Saturday at noon, because that's when the podcast is going live, and I actually want people to watch that. But if they're distracted by a new Minecraft server,
Then they're not going to watch it.
yeah, forget it. Then they're going to forget that it even came out.
That's like half of our audience
Yeah.
on your Minecraft server.
Yeah, honestly. You know what I was thinking?
What's that?
We probably shouldn't do this, but what if we just uploaded the video and then didn't tell anybody?
I don't think we would get any views.
We have like 7 subscribers on the channel,
I don't think they have the notification bell on.
but if they saw it in their subscription or
Subscribe
something.
and turn on that
Yeah,
notification
hit that notification bell, guys. We only upload once a
Smash
week.
that like button.
Smash that like button. We only upload like once a week, so we promise we won't spam you.
Leave a comment down below.
Yeah, tell us what we should do next. Oh, speaking of which, sponsorships, right? No one's gonna sponsor us because we are two 17-year-olds from single-parent homes making a shitty podcast. But if you pay us $5, just $5, we will say any sentence you want on the podcast. Now, we won't do slurs because that's how we get taken off of YouTube. But anything else will go. Well, not anything else. I'm sure you could think of something that doesn't have a slur that I won't say. But, I mean, if you want me to say, like, I'm Matthew Garrison and I pooped my diaper, I'll say it. For $5. Yeah, I'll do anything for $5. That's a deal.
That's a steal.
Hey, that one's for free. I just gave you it.
Someone's gonna have a clip of that and they're just gonna send it.
Oh, it's
to
going to
you.
be Jason. Jason's going to clip that and be like,
Jason's
look at
gonna
this
clip
idiot.
that.
He pooped his diaper.
Uh-oh, Matt pooped his diaper.
Who told you?
How many people actually wear adult diapers? That's the real question.
I think adult diapers are more meant for, like, elderly.
Yeah, I can see that. People
Or
that can't
maybe-
move.
Yeah, maybe if you have, like, IBS or something. But other than that, I think adult diapers are just meant for, like, really old people in hospitals that are, like, bed-bound.
So that they don't have to move them to get them to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, dude, that must suck, being, like, bed-bound. And, like, you're conscious of the fact that you need to go to the bathroom, but nobody's like, oh, it's so much work to move old Joe out of the bed. Just pee your pants, buddy. Like, oh, I hate that.
It must suck to be just bedbound in general
Yeah, it
because
must
you
just suck
can't
to be
do
old.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must suck to be old. We should have a limit on how old you can get before you get put down.
Yeah, all right, Brenda, you've reached the maximum age. Don't be selfish.
We need to have some more room in here for the babies.
Yep.
We don't want to take care of you and you pooing your diaper.
I remember there was always a joke I would tell in middle school. When people would be like, "Oh, what do you want to be when you grow up?" It's like, I'm gonna kill myself before I turn 25. Now, I was like 12 saying that.
Bro, this is the last year we can make that 2020 vision joke.
Oh man, it is. And what? There's only like 6 months left of this year.
Yeah, that's sad.
I feel like there's some way we could work it around to.
I don't have 2024 vision.
That's not how it works though.
You don't know.
Yeah, it is. Oh wait, here's the thing. Because the way vision works is the 20 is always a constant, like the numerator.
Okay.
So we could just change it. It's like, oh wow, you could just do 2040. I mean that
But
works.
isn't that bad vision?
Yeah. You just have to somehow change the joke. 2020 isn't even perfect vision. It's average vision.
What would perfect vision be?
It would be like 20, like 0.8 or like 0.1 or something crazy.
Dude, imagine being able to see that good.
Well, the thing is, like 2020 vision is like you can see at 20 feet what a normal person can see at 20 feet.
Yeah. Oh, that's how that works.
Yeah. And then like 2040 vision is like you can see at 20 feet what a normal person can see at 40 feet. Or not a normal person, but the average person.
Yeah. But if
And
you
then-
can see things, if you see 20 feet, what people see in 40 feet, isn't that better?
No.
Because you can see farther.
It means if there was something 20 feet away from me right now,
Oh,
I
it
would
would look
see,
like it was
would
40
look
feet
like
away?
it was 40 feet away.
Okay.
Not in terms of depth, but in like blurriness.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense. I had no clue how that thing worked. I thought they just slapped numbers on it.
I just learned like very recently in bio because we did a lab on it.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
So speaking of classes, we're actually finishing up the school year right now. We are in our last full week of school.
And then we got Monday and then Regents.
Yep, and we're gonna be on that grind, on that job, landscaping,
Hell yeah. That's how you make the bread.
stacking dough. It's tough work, but I mean, you saw he just gave me $60.
$60 for what did you do? Forget the money?
Yeah, well I'll pull
What
up
was the
that
job that you did for that though?
we were putting up a wall to
Oh, yeah,
hold
there
in
was
like
that one.
dirt, and I worked for 6 hours and I got $60. So that's $10 an hour. That's but that's no taxes paid on it.
Yeah.
It's less than minimum wage, but it's more than you would get from minimum wage after taxes.
Yeah, probably.
And honestly, it might be, and even if that's still pretty good, $10 an hour,
Yeah, it is pretty good.
especially since we're not doing any of the work of finding the job, or like getting the customers. Like that's all done for us.
Yeah, we just have to go out and mow lawns.
I mean, I liked that rate he was giving us for weeding. $20
Yeah,
a property.
that was nice. 2 hours.
Well, assuming we can get it done in 2 hours.
I feel like we would be able to get it done in 2 hours. It's just picking weeds.
Yeah, but it depends how big the property is the thing.
Yeah, but then if it's a bigger property, we'd also probably get more money.
Yeah, maybe, or maybe not. Who knows? But like he said, the big projects are and he said it was a job-by-job basis, so if it was like a big project like me, you, him, and Chris were working on, I feel like this isn't podcast material, but I'm going to keep going, then we could be making, I don't know, somewhere like 100 or something like that.
That's a lot of bread. Don't we have that thing Tuesday?
Yeah, we have the apple seeds
Yeah.
after the U.S. history regions.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
U.S. history regions, do you think that's going to be difficult?
I didn't know there was going to be an essay until like 2 days ago.
Isn't there 2 essays?
Is there 2 essays?
There's the DBQ-based essay.
Oh, well, that's like barely.
That's nothing. And then there's a second one. I don't know what that's on.
Yeah, well, it can be on anything.
Yeah.
Like the one that he showed us was about like territories.
Yeah. I remember that.
Let's talk about current events.
Current events. Oh, boy.
Pop-Tarts.
Oh,
Are
boy.
they a calzone?
Are they a calzone?
Yes.
Well, isn't a calzone a type of pizza?
Well, okay, what a calzone is like, it's bread
Yep.
filled with filling. What's a Pop-Tart? Bread filled with filling.
I don't feel like the outside of a Pop-Tart's actually bread.
Well, it's substitute bread.
That's fair. But I thought calzones were just like pizzas.
Okay, Uncrustables. Are they a calzone?
Would you have a peanut butter and jelly pizza?
I have made a peanut butter and jelly pizza
You've
before.
made a peanut butter and jelly pizza. So you put the peanut butter and the jelly on top of the cheese, on top of the sauce?
That is not what I did. I made a cornbread
Oh,
like
okay.
crust, and then I put peanut butter and jelly on it, and I ate it like pizza.
That doesn't sound too bad.
It was actually pretty good.
Does anybody make peanut butter and jelly pies?
I feel like there could be a market for that, but maybe not like
An unexploited market.
maybe it's like a grape pie, but then
Mhm.
there's also like
Peanut butter in there?
like peanut something. Maybe not peanut butter because I don't know how well that would do in a pie, like in an oven.
Well, isn't there like peanut butter pies?
Are there?
I feel like there are.
I've never heard of that. I mean, I'm not saying
I
they
want to
don't
believe
exist.
there are.
I want to believe there's a peanut butter pie.
I want to eat a peanut butter pie. If you guys want to donate a peanut butter pie to the
Yeah.
podcast, please let us know.
Patreon down below. We don't have a Patreon. That's a lie. Hey, I'd love a Patreon, but I don't think anyone would put any money on it, and I don't even think we can make one if we're not 18.
Yeah. But that's just the struggles we have to live with.
So by the next annual episode, we will have a Patreon because we'll be 18.
And then you guys can submit donations.
Yeah, and we'll... Special thanks to our Patreons.
Oh, the list
Yeah.
is blank.
That's it. Oh, the lights...
Wait, nope. Simon Moore has
Yeah,
donated
Simon
$1.
Moore- Simon Moore has donated $1. You just, like, take $1 out of one pocket and put it in the other. Hey, I get half of that.
That would be a good joke, actually. You know, I'm going to do that next episode.
Yeah, cut it. Cut that. We're going to do that
Yeah,
joke.
get rid of that.
Editor guy, cut it. We're
Yeah,
going to do that joke in the
editor-
next episode.
Who's our editor?
It's me. I'm the editor.
Matthew Garrison. Cut that out of there.
Yeah, don't. We need that. We need to use that joke. We need
Yeah,
somebody
we
to
can't
watch
let them
this
know the
podcast.
joke because then they'll steal it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Megan Bach, Hub Crew, if you're watching this, please let us do fun things in the program just once.
We'll pay you.
We will not.
Are we going to bring tinfoil hats next year? I didn't say to why. I was just asking if we were going to.
Yeah, we might now. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just please. It doesn't even have to be the beach walk thing. We just want
We're desperate.
to. Yeah, actually, I did get in something like by myself.
What did you get in?
I put in Matthew Garrison, lover, friend, and a man of lights, and they actually got that in. So I thought that was. I'll count that as a small victory.
Didn't Ben Geppard turn in something on a plank of wood?
I think he might have. Hub Crew, if you're watching, can you confirm or deny?
Confirm or deny, please.
Nobody's watching this. Unless it's Megan, but I don't think Megan's going to watch this.
We should hang up posters in the school for the podcast.
When I've been signing people's yearbooks, I've been plugging the podcast.
Dude, that's genius. They're going to look back on it and be like, huh, what's this?
Episode 564. Whoa. That would be literally like
it's just
10
10 minutes
years.
of us staring at the camera.
That would be 10 years from now, 564.
Well, that's unless we speed run it.
Yeah, just 3 episodes a day.
They're all 1 minute long.
No, they're all an hour. We just spend 3 hours every day recording podcast episodes.
Talking about random stuff.
So, like I said, we're gonna try to get every Saturday at noon. But if like one of us is like not in town for something over the summer, or if we get like loaded with work and we can't record, I mean, maybe if we can see that coming in advance, we'll record episodes back to back just so we can get them out. But yeah, there's no promises. We're really gonna try though to get every Saturday at noon.
The goal is every Saturday at noon. That way, there's more episodes, and then there's more subscribers, more likes, more people.
More clout.
More clout. That's an important one. More people donating to the Patreon.
Yeah, the Patreon that doesn't exist because we can't make it.
Just mail us $1.
I'm serious about the $5 I'll say any sentence you want thing. I don't think any of you are going to take me up on that, but for $5, that's chump change. I'll say any sentence. That's not true.
For
But I'll
$1,000, you can come on the podcast. You have to bring your own mic, your own chair, your
No,
own
no.
cord,
For
your own computer.
$1,000, you can come on the podcast and you'll replace Simon permanently.
Permanently?
Yeah, permanently.
What if I pay $1,000? Do I get to
Then-
replace me?
Yeah, you get to replace you, and I get $1,000.
But is it permanent?
No, it's only temporary, and then I find someone else. I replace you with my mom.
I feel like that would make an interesting podcast.
I feel like she wouldn't be able to sit still for an hour.
No, I don't think that would happen.
Should I be roasting my mom? She might watch this.
I don't think she's going to watch this.
I don't really think so either, but maybe she can hear me. I mean, she is right upstairs.
But who are our fans? We have Logan Schupner.
Right.
That's it. He's going to be the only one watching this.
Jason said he watched like 20 minutes of it and he had to turn it off because the quality was so bad. So maybe he'll actually watch this whole one.
Now that our quality is okay.
Now that our quality is sublime.
Moderately good.
Honestly, the camera could be better. but I think the mics are.
The camera's a little pixely. I like the mics.
Let me tell you.
I like the blue light.
Let me tell you, it's not facing that way anymore. Don't. Oh wow,
The
he's
blue
doing
light.
it. Let me tell you how long I finished with these mics for. I mean, what we did it like an hour today, right?
Yeah, it was about an hour. We
Yeah,
shot several test runs.
Yeah, when we deleted them, so don't ask for them. But before that, I spent like 2 hours because his mic was so goddamn quiet for no reason. And then pretty recently, mine actually got really quiet. Hopefully, this sounds good right now because
Yeah, hopefully it is good. My mic fell twice. I don't know about that.
well, the light's on, so that means it's still plugged in.
It's working.
Yeah, I mean,
At least there's that. They'll just have to turn up their volume really loud.
wow, we've already been doing this for half an hour.
It's been half an hour.
Well, 29 minutes, but still.
It feels like it's been like 5 minutes.
I know, right? I feel like we just started.
Half an hour.
Dang.
Dude, podcasting is a lot of fun.
I know. I feel. Oh my god. We're gonna get clowned on though. You know why? Because I've been seeing all these like comics and stuff on like my Instagram Explore feed.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, we're 3 generic white dudes with average experiences and opinions. Whoa, did we just make a podcast? Listen,
We're missing a third though.
Yeah, we're missing a third. But let me just say, we hopped on this train early. All right, we've had this podcast for a year. Just because we didn't make any episodes doesn't mean it hasn't been around for a year.
We have had a podcast for a year. That's wild. I think that's longer than most people have podcast.
Yeah, I feel like there's
Except
definitely
for,
a lot
like,
of people.
the major ones.
Yeah,
like
I feel
Joe
like-
Rogan.
Yeah, like Tiny Meat Gang or Logan Paul. Yeah, but I feel like what the hell was I even saying?
Something about the amount.
Oh yeah, I
The
feel like
time.
I feel like a lot of people will just make one episode and then decide it's not for them, which is not what we did. Before anyone says that, this is the second episode. I've already proved your point wrong. So
Yeah, some people just make an episode, wait a year, and then they make the second one and they get better stuff.
yeah, it's probably really confusing to all these people that were saying a year because it was uploaded in July and this is going up June 15th. But let me just say, we recorded the first episode on June like 8th or something.
Yeah,
June 8th or 9th.
before today.
And I asked my cousin Jeanette, who's very kindly, she did this for free. Shout out to Jeanette, to make us a little logo, which is the one you saw at the beginning of this episode, and it's also our YouTube logo. But you know, since she was making it for free, she wasn't in any rush, which is fine. So we had to wait like 2 months for that to get made, and then we uploaded the video.
I'm glad with the not glad. I'm happy with the quality of the image though. It's
Yeah,
great.
it's really good. It might get like compressed to all hell though, because I gotta re-download it from Discord.
Hopefully it still fits and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's the right aspect ratio.
We're gonna need a lot of mint puns for all of the episodes.
I know. It took me a second to even come up with. All right, you want to hear a secret? I didn't come up with this one.
How'd you get it?
I got it from Jeanette.
Did you?
Yeah. Well, I told her we were making episode. I said like, oh, I was joking. I was like, oh, episode 2 coming soon because it's like we haven't made an episode in a year. And I was like, oh, I mean, we totally would, but we just can't think of any like mint puns. And she's like, how about like spearheading into something? And I was like, wow, that's really good.
Spearheading into a new beginning.
Yeah.
If you guys have mint puns, please let us know.
Yeah. Submit your mint puns in the comment below. I mean,
Best one gets next
yeah.
title.
We have to somehow make it. I mean, a lot of times I feel like if we just whatever we talked about in the podcast, we could definitely like somehow incorporate that into the title with a mint pun.
I feel like eventually we're just gonna run out of ideas for mint puns, and then it's just gonna be like the title is just gonna be the number 7.
I like how in this theoretical scenario we only had 6 mint puns. That's all we could get.
Well, mint puns aren't that common. I feel like they're more uncommon type of pun.
Did we ever explain where the name Somewhat Minty came from?
I don't know.
I don't think we did.
I don't think I know where it came from.
Okay, well I'll enlighten everybody. So, our names are Simon and Matthew, right? And for like a while, like a year ago, I was like obsessed with anagrams for no reason. I don't know why, but I loved anagrams. So if you rearrange the letters in Simon and Matthew, you get Somewhat Mint. Now that's not Somewhat Minty, but Somewhat Minty sounded a lot better for a podcast name. So that's where the name comes from.
I was about to ask where the O came from, but then I realized there's one in my name. So.
Dude, that's so much worse than what I was going to say is there's no O in Somewhat Minty. I was so confused. I was like, what O? You're dumb, dude.
Dude, I think some shouldn't have an O in it. It should be a U. Like when you add things together, there's some.
Somewhat minty podcast.
Somewhat.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. You know, like the sum.
The English language is very, very weird.
Well, it's because it's derived from so many languages. It's Greek and Latin and a little bit of Germanic.
We're just a mosh posh of different languages.
And then all the new slang and even old slang that became incorporated that people don't even think it's slang anymore.
Like swag.
We gotta stop with the swag, dude. We can't let swag leak into this podcast.
Swag is everywhere, dude.
Dude, I'm dripping with swag. Let's not get... Ooh.
Well, uh-oh.
A little technical difficulties
Looks like I'm
here,
not the
ladies
only
and
one that's
gentlemen.
gonna drop the mic today.
Yeah, drop the mic like a boss.
Boss baby.
See Alec Baldwin in theaters as the Boss Baby on July 31st.
You know what's really bad?
The Boss Baby?
The Boss Baby TV show.
Oh
The
my
movie
God.
is great.
Let me tell you something, right? I saw... I don't know if I saw the Boss Baby in theaters, but it doesn't matter, right? So, this was about a year ago. I remember because it was on 420. But me and Simon decided to watch the Boss Baby, right? When he was at my house after...
Was
It
it
wasn't-
after D&D?
No, it wasn't after D&D. I think we were just hanging out because Cooper didn't want to go do D&D because he was doing... Well, you know what he was doing.
Yeah. We all know
Um,
what he was doing.
So we were just hanging out. We were like, let's watch the Boss Baby movie because, you know, it's just funny, right?
Mhm.
And it was pretty, you know, it's a weird premise, but it was kind of okay.
I liked the movie. Best character was that giant baby.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Good.
my Netflix profile picture.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
because
awesome.
you can pick him as your Netflix profile picture.
Netflix. And then we're like, oh my God, there's a TV show? Let's watch that. Disgusting. It was awful.
The animation quality looked like it was done in 5 seconds by a 3-year-old.
Probably because it was, or at least not by a 3-year-old, but because they saw how great the movie was doing. They're like, let's capitalize this TV show
Let's
right
cash
now.
in on this. Let's get some free revenue.
So a notable quote from the first episode is, "Baby talk is hate speech, Templeton." We didn't watch any more than like the first 5 minutes of the episode.
Why do you remember that?
I saw it in like a post somewhere. I don't remember
Oh,
it from
okay.
exactly.
Okay.
But
I thought you just remembered one of the lines from the first episode of Boss Baby TV show.
yeah, it was literally like a good like 10 frames per second. It was so choppy. The character models were like way
They
more
looked
simple.
Like abominations
Oh
compared
my God,
to
they
the
were
movie.
awful.
The movie had nice animation quality. Not the show.
Dude, there was this one scene in The Boss Baby when the Boss Baby leaves, and there's like this shot of like an empty road, and like the sun is setting, and there's trees on. It's a beautiful
It's a
scene.
beautiful.
It's a
picture.
beautiful shot.
Wasn't that your profile picture on something for something?
No, I just screenshotted it and saved it as God has left, but it was a nice picture. I remember we saw it. We were like, oh, screenshot that. That's a good
Screenshot
pic.
that. Screenshot
It's a
that.
good pic. It's a good pic.
I wish more movies had spots like that where they just had a nice back screen.
I think a lot of them
screensaver.
do, but we just didn't really notice it until The Boss Baby.
That's fair. Do you know what movies are good? Adam Sandler movies.
Dude, honestly, okay, so Adam Sandler movies are a little shaky right now,
Mm-hmm.
but old like 90s Adam Sandler movies are
That's where it's at.
hilarious.
That's where it's at.
You ever see Click?
I
That's-
have seen
It's
Click.
not a comedy, but I really like
It's
that movie.
good. The time-stopping remote control.
If you go on my Kindle, there's a lot of books, there's a lot of games, and there's one in the movie category, and it is Click, the Adam Sandler movie.
Isn't there a lot of Garfield comics too?
Oh, there's so many Garfield comics and Big Nate comics. Those are what I got on my Kindle when I was like 10.
Isn't Big Nate a book series?
He was originally a comic strip, and then they started. I have the books, and I also have just like collections of comics. But I would buy like a collection of comics for like $8, and then I'd read it in like an hour. And it wasn't my money; it was my dad's, and he didn't care because he's like, "Oh, he's reading," but he didn't realize they were like literally just comic books.
Garfield is a good comic. Have you seen the last comic strip for Garfield?
Like the latest one or the last one ever made?
The last one ever made.
They're not being made anymore.
I don't know. Danny keeps claiming. He said that. Have you seen the last comic strip ever?
I feel like Jim Davis is still making.
And it's just a shot of Garfield from the back. He's in his box, and he's got the blanket over him, right?
Mhm.
And he's got the Z's going. And then the Z's stop.
Implying Garfield can die
It's just 3 panels of him sleeping.
and then dying. It's implied.
It's a
It definitely-
lasagna addiction.
Lasagna's addiction is no joke. Call 1-800-LASAGNA to get help today.
1-800-lasagna. We will serve you.
Wait, lasagna's too many letters. Call 1-800-LAGAGNA.
I feel like that's still too many words.
Nope. Lagnana.
What's the word limit on a phone number?
7.
How do you spell it again?
Lagagna.
La.
7.
Yeah, that's 7.
How did you? This kid. Oh my God. He counted on his fingers and then counted his fingers. That's worse than Danny. Oh yeah, our friend Danny, when we play D&D, he does math on his fingers. He'll be like, okay, so that's 11 plus 7. Like he'll literally. How
He's
do you not know
proficient
that?
in finger counting.
Yeah. It's a little impressive, but it's mostly just
He
embarrassing.
does it quick, but it's still counting on your fingers.
Yeah.
With basic math.
It's like that. Have you ever seen that meme? It's like, do you have any special skills? Oh, I can do math incredibly fast in my head. Oh yeah? What's 47 times 6? 11. That wasn't right at all. Yeah, but it was fast.
I feel like that's actually a pretty damn good skill. Have you ever seen the people that are like human calculators, where they got that blackboard full of math in front of them, and they just look at it and they're like, 3.
I love that when there's a giant formula and it ends up being like 2 or something. I saw a video of like where they would ask like, you know, not like stuff like that, but like stuff it's like, what's 324 times 468? And he would just like the guy would be able to tell you before like the other people there were even able to put it in the calculator.
Damn.
It was
What do you have
something
to do to be able to get like that?
it was like a genetic thing for him. Like one part of his brain was like lower or higher than normal, and that made him like incredibly good at math.
Does that mean we can just lower or higher part of our brain and become
Weren't there like
geniuses?
doctors that did that in like the 60s? What the hell were they called?
Lobotomists?
Yeah, lobotomists. It's like oh man, I've got crazy women syndrome. Well, I can fix that. Let me just jangle that up in there.
Jangle your brain, make a quick smoothie.
Yeah, I'll give you an ice pick lobotomy, Trotsky style.
Right in through the eye.
Mm-hmm. Poor Trotsky, man. He was just trying to be a communist, and Stalin was like,
I'm a communist.
He must
no.
die. That was not a Russian accent. I know what I just did. Sponsored by Bubbly. Call 1-800 Bubbly to get Bubbly. Probably can't even read it because it's white on orange, and the camera's not that great.
That's orange.
It's peach, so I don't think it's yellow.
I don't think peach is an orange, though.
Guys, this fool thinks that peaches are yellow.
No, I didn't say they were yellow. They're peach.
That's kind of what you said.
No. Peaches are the color peach, bro. They're just like oranges
Man,
and
what
limes.
the hell do either of us know about any color that has any type of red in it?
Yellow doesn't have red in it.
Yeah, but orange does.
Oh, yeah, it does. I forgot about that.
I forgot about the color orange there for a second.
What colors are illegitimate colors? Which colors do you think don't deserve to be around?
Well, purple's not technically a real color.
Technically, Matt, if you really want to get technical, no colors are real.
I was gonna mute my mic and then be like, say something, but I just realized that wouldn't be funny because they wouldn't be able to hear me, and maybe it would just pick up on your mic anyway.
Yeah,
but,
that's fair.
I actually remember when we just put up the color blast and I got them all like everything set, so I figured out like which channel went to which address.
Yeah.
Like, with Augustine's help. I was like, they were like panning on the stage, and like Megan and Lauren were up there, and I was like, "Hey Bach, what color do you want?" And you know what she says?
What?
Purple. I was like, oh god. But then I remembered like, oh well, I can just change the sliders. So I just went red and blue all the way up, and then purple.
Do you think she did that because you're colorblind, or was it just spontaneous?
A lot of people like the color purple, so I'm guessing that was. Just
I don't understand why. It's just blue.
Yeah, it's just blue. It's the same thing as blue.
I don't understand.
Oh, but you're colorblind. Am I though?
What, like this? Is this purple or blue?
That's blue. We know it's blue because it said blue on the Amazon.
But they could be lying to us, Matt.
Don't trust Jeff Bezos.
He's just trying to get the bread.
And we gave him the bread. We gave him like $200. No, we gave him like almost $300 of the bread.
That's right, though, because we're sponsored by Jeff Bezos
Yeah,
himself.
this was Amazon Basics right here. The extension cord was not Amazon Basics, but it is
It all
black.
came from Amazon, so
Yeah, well, I already had this.
he supplied our podcast.
You know where I ordered this?
Amazon?
Amazon.
He supplied the podcast.
Yep, well, these chairs, who knows? They've been in here since I was born, and Amazon was not really a thing in 2002.
Yeah, I don't
so.
feel... No. So, thank you, Walmart, too.
Thank you, Chair Supplier Store. You made this podcast possible.
Thank you, home builders, because you built this basement.
Yeah.
Great spot for a podcast.
You know, I feel like a lot of these jokes are visual, so if somebody is listening to this on Spotify right now, they gotta be so confused. Like, is this blue? And they're like, what is what blue?
Is what blue? Tell me.
I was like gesturing to the SS Fortnite flag and everything.
I feel so sad for people listening to Spotify. I feel like if you're listening on Spotify, you should listen on YouTube first and watch.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you're listening, then you're listening, and we're happy that you're listening.
You should listen more than once a day, and if you don't...
Simon, don't be a dick. No, but seriously, if you are listening, and if you've made it this far, we're like 45 minutes in, why?
Why are you watching two 17-year-old boys just ramble on about nothing?
Yeah, their color blindness.
First world problems.
Yeah, first world problems. I can't tell blue from purple. I mean, I have a roof over my head and food on the table, but other than that,
I can't see.
my life sucks. But,
I can't be a pilot.
or a straight trooper, or a couple other things.
State troopers can't be colorblind?
Yep, because they have to be able to adequately describe crime scenes. Which, that law seems like it was written with a misunderstanding of how colorblindness works. Because I feel like I could still pretty adequately describe a crime scene if it came to it.
I don't feel like it's that hard. You just have to be like, oh, there was this thing, and it was blurple.
I definitely understand the pilot one, though, because they have, like, the
Yeah.
colored signals. Like, you gotta know the difference between blue and purple. You can't, there's no time to be asking your co-pilot, like, yo, is that one purple?
Yo, is that blue or purple? There's a missile.
Oh, I like how I was thinking, like commercial pilot, but you jumped straight to military. I like it. No, but I kind of interrupted myself. But if you did make it this far, thank you.
Why did that sound questioning?
Because I'm questioning why we're doing this. No, this is fun. I like doing this.
Podcasting is great.
And if you're watching this and you heard us talk about how maybe we were going to have guests on this show, I don't really know if that's going to happen. Because our current setup doesn't really allow for that, and we don't really have the USB bandwidth to be running another mic up to my computer.
So it's bring your own mic, bring your own chair, bring your own computer.
Yeah, because I don't even have another USB port on my computer.
There's
Like,
always splitters.
Like, yeah. Well, no, because it'll still all be running eventually into the same.
Oh, so that wouldn't
Because
work?
they were all plugged into that splitter right there.
But I meant splitters like up on that, so that you can plug two of them into one.
But in the end, they would all be going into one port, so it still wouldn't matter.
Okay.
Like a USB hub, which is what that is, except it's just connected to a 65-foot.
What other things should we add to this set? That's the real question.
I mean, I feel like you said something about a green screen, but that would require us actually going in and editing something. And like, what would we even put on it? I mean, maybe we could put like a black backdrop up, so we don't have like,
right here.
yeah, like a fireplace, and we could put like something up so you don't have to see my basement behind us. But I feel like that's part of the charm, you know?
Yeah,
like,
that's fair. That's fair.
Like, we're not some big corporate entity. We're
just two teenage boys.
We're just two boys in my basement. We're two white dudes with average opinions and experiences. You know what? No. Average experiences, yes, but we have some weird-ass opinions. I mean, a lot of you have seen our political compass results.
I think it's only like 5 people, Matt.
Yeah, how many people watch this podcast, buddy?
Logan Schupner.
Yeah, you can't even name
Us.
5. Yeah, us, we watched it. Yeah, you know, the first episode has like 140 views. Yeah, it's all me.
Does it really?
I don't know, I'm guesstimating. It was 100-something.
That's insanity. That's a lot. That's like
I
more
mean, it's
than
been-
just Logan.
Yeah, it's been up for like a year, though, so.
Yeah, that's fair. Do you think
If-
anybody from... Hold up. Do you think anybody not from Marlboro has seen it?
I mean, probably. But the thing is, even if somebody just clicks on the video and then clicks off it, it counts as a view, so they might have just like, been like, oh, wow, this is terrible. And it was. So, I don't blame them.
But now it's not.
Yeah, well, the
So
quality of the recording equipment isn't, but quality of the conversation. We were literally talking about adult diapers before, bro.
Dude, I feel like that's the charm, though. You just talk about random stuff. Have you ever seen Joe Rogan's podcasts?
Yeah. I feel like a lot of the big appeal for Joe Rogan, though, is that he has guests.
Yeah, that's fair. Also, there's Jamie, bro.
Yeah, Jamie.
Pull it up, Jamie.
Jamie, pull that shit up.
He also has some pretty interesting conversations.
Mm-hmm. I feel like people they attack him because they say he's alt-right because he hosts like right-wing people.
But he's had a lot of left-wing people on there too.
Yeah, but I feel like to like a certain extent, it's the only thing is like they'll just say things that are like wrong. It's like, oh well, did you know that black people are like terrible? And he'd be like, huh? No, I didn't know that. Like he won't check or anything. Like he'll be like, wow, I didn't know that.
He just
So-
agrees with everything.
Yeah. So then I feel like then the people listening are like, oh wow, Joe Rogan. If Joe Rogan is agreeing with it, it must be true. Wasn't he like a wrestler before he did the podcast?
Jiu-jitsu.
Right. I never really followed
I
him.
think
before.
he's got like 2 or 3 black belts. He's also UFC. He's one of the people that talk.
Right. That's where I was thinking.
Yeah, which I didn't realize until like last month when I was just watching some UFC thing.
I got a question for the podcast people. Mr. DeGeorge, is he a gamer?
Which video games do you think Mr. George plays? Please answer 100% truthfully.
Don't lie about what you think. What video games you think Mr. DeGeorge plays?
If you think he plays Angry Birds, say so.
If you think he plays Subway Surfers, say so.
You know, I feel like he's not like a big gamer, man. Like computer, Xbox, PlayStation. I feel like he's got a Wii, and I feel like he's a pro in Smash Brothers.
I feel like we don't know anything about Mr. DeGeorge. Like, does he have a wife and kids? I don't know.
We gotta start asking him more questions.
We have 2 days to do that.
We have to invite him onto the podcast.
Yeah,
Mr.
dude,
DeGeorge.
Listen,
Bring your camera and everything.
dude, I will say that to Mr. DeGeorge tomorrow. I'll ask if he wants to be a guest on our podcast.
Eventually.
Or tomorrow. It's actually yesterday for the people watching. But
I really hope though that we can get him on here, or
I mean, he
we
won't.
can learn more about him.
I'll just replace you with him. Because we don't have another mic.
I'll just be sitting back there like crying.
Yeah, it's like, hey God, shut up. If we have like a Nerf guns, we shoot you when you start acting up.
Like little spray bottles, like a
Yeah,
dog.
like a cat.
Mr. DeGeorge is talking, Simon. Stop.
Don't interrupt.
What other teachers are gamers though?
I think we decided Mr. DiMenuto is a gamer. Mr.
He's
Eckert.
definitely a gamer. Mr. Eckert's a gamer. Mr. Young.
Yeah, Mr. Eckert and
gamer.
Mr. Young have been proven to be gamers.
Yeah, they both said that they play Xbox with each other.
Yeah, nice save.
Because I used to ask Mr. Eckert for his Xbox tag all the time so that I could play with him.
I bet because he's very good friends with my older sister, and like he was at her wedding and stuff, and he comes to some of my nephew's birthday parties and whatever else. So if I still played Xbox, I bet I could ask him for his tag and he'd give it to me now. Or maybe he wouldn't. Maybe he'd have to wait till I like graduated. He lets me call him Mark now, so that's cool.
That's cool.
He won't let Grace call him Mark because she's still in 8th grade and has him as a teacher.
That's fair. That's a good policy to have if you're a teacher. Don't let your students call you by your first name unless they're not your students.
Although it's funny because in ERT we had Trevor Eichler as our sub, and I called him Mr. Eichler because I thought I had to. He's like, don't do that. He's like, don't call me Mr. Eichler. You know my name. It's like, well, yeah, I do, but
Have you noticed that a lot of like people that graduated like 2 to 1 year ago are now coming back to the school as substitute teachers?
I don't think they're like legitimate subs. I think they're just filling in for these days that aren't really like real days. Like Matt Early, like he's studying like physics or something. He's not trying to be a substitute teacher. And I don't know what Trevor Eichler's doing, but I don't think it's being a
definitely not engineering or teaching. Engineering.
Or how to engineer teachers. Or how to teach engineers.
How to engineer teachers to teach engineers.
What? Well, guys, I got like a metal pole I can lean on back here. What's up?
Bro, I got the chair.
And they probably can't even hear us when we lean back.
Yeah, leaning back's not a good idea because then you wouldn't be able to hear us.
I just cranked the game. I'm not gonna do that. That would be so hellish if I cranked the game.
We should just upload a video, right? We should be like, new podcast coming out soon, guys. And then we upload a 10-minute video of us screaming with the mics at full gain.
It's like, all right, guys, we got a special bonus feature for you coming Friday at noon. Just general screaming, like no words, or if they are words, they don't make any sense. They're just like random nouns or like words of the week. Truculent, schism. Oh, why do I get British?
Trepidation.
It's like schism.
That's because the British have a major schism, Matthew.
Brexit. Let's talk about Brexit. Are you for or against Brexit? You don't live in the country.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't live in the country. You know, I don't really care what they do because it doesn't affect me personally.
Stupid fucking Brits. Um,
The damned redcoats.
I think the whole situation is very funny because they want like a separation from the EU,
Yeah.
right? But like with Northern Ireland, right, which is part of the United Kingdom, or Britain or something. I don't know. Well, it's part of
It's part of.
Theresa, or not Theresa May. She resigned. But their jurisdiction,
Yeah.
and Ireland is going to stay in the EU.
So that's going to be interesting. Unless they just release Ireland.
Yeah. So, and there's a lot of I don't know if there still is, but at least in the 70s, there was a lot of people in Northern Ireland that wanted to be part of the Republic of Ireland. Anyone remember Bloody Sunday?
I know that day very well.
Mm-hmm. It's part of Light Screw history. I'm not going to explain that.
No.
Some people.
Lights Crew, you'll get it.
Yeah, join Light Screw and you'll understand the Bloody Sunday joke. Or just be in drama because we say we don't shut up.
All
about
of
it.
our viewers should join Lights Crew.
Yep. Even the ones who have already graduated high school.
Even the ones that don't live in Marlboro.
Even the people that were already in Light Screw and graduated. Yazid,
Yazid, come back.
come back. Yazid.
Tyler,
Dylan.
Dylan, we don't want you.
Yeah, get out.
Ben Gordon,
Ben Gordon. Future Light Screw Chief Ben Gordon.
future Lights Crew Chief Ben Gordon.
I feel like we're just writing this podcast out and mentioning people by name. And then like, hey, if you watch it, we mentioned you. And they're like, oh, well, I got to watch it now.
Dude, that's genius. Let's just start.
That's what I did with the last time, dude. I was like, oh, yeah, I mentioned, like, I
Big
posted
idea,
on my
big
Finsta.
brain idea, big brain idea. Here's what we do. We just upload an hour of us just saying different people's names from the school. Like we have a list.
Start from the bottom. Jessica Zabrowski. Oh, wait, no, that's a bad idea. Avery Albright. Adam
David
Bach.
Polium Jr. The Fast.
The Fast. Like, I was teachers, too.
Well, we have to get everybody mad. That's how we get the max amount of viewers. We could just be like, hey, we said your name in a video. Yeah.
I just realized, when we were joking about TF standing for The Fassel,
Mm-hmm.
we actually got the first two letters of his name right.
Isn't it Thomas?
Thomas is spelled with a TH.
Yeah, yeah.
And so is The. The Fassel.
I don't think Thomas is the actual first name, though. I think it's the, and he's just trying to hide it from us.
No, his first name's Jim, dude. Jim Fassel.
Yeah, Jim starts with TH. They're just silent.
You know who's a great dude?
Who's that?
Ben Gordon.
Ben Gordon. I love the dude.
He's future Light Screw Chief.
He's got a nice hair.
He's not an actor. That's the important.
You can stick pencils in his hair.
We don't do that enough.
No, I'm gonna put a pencil in his hair every single day now.
For the remaining 2 days we have, and he probably won't even be here on Monday. I'm coming to school on Monday.
I'm coming to school on Monday. I want that free bakery goods.
Oh, yeah, those baked goods. Ugolino hooking us up.
the SCP.
The SCP hooking us up with them baked goods.
Ugolino's an interesting guy. I feel like he moves and talks really weird.
He moves like a car dealership inflatable wacky tube man. You know what I mean?
He looks like somebody that is new to the body that he's in.
Yeah, like
Like he just took it over from
yeah, he's
somebody.
not used to this host body. He's like, and he's always like, oh man, I'm always running. He's like trying to make excuses for why he moves like a monster. Also, sometimes he pretends to throw up in trash cans.
You
That
guys
was
know, like,
really
Odious,
weird.
Odious, you know?
Oh yeah, guys. Oh. Like what?
Sings in class sometimes.
Oh yeah, he's like, oh, you know that one song, and he'll start singing, and we'll, like even if we do know, it, like, wait, what? No, I never heard of that. Can you sing some more? We try to get him to sing as much as
What was the
possible.
song he sung?
I don't know. It had the word "vain" in it, which is weird because our word.
Wasn't
none
it
of-
like, you're so vain, you probably think this song is about you?
Yeah, it's that one. Which is weird because I don't even know what he could possibly have been talking about because vain wasn't one of the words of the week.
Isn't it hubris?
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like pride is different than vain though.
That's fair. That's fair.
No, it might have been
They're
hubris.
similar.
That seems like a connection Ugolino would make, even if it's not entirely great.
Yeah. I like him, though. He's interesting.
Yeah, he's definitely not the worst teacher.
His final was easy.
Oh my god, his final was a joke.
82 questions?
Yeah, so we
10
had
minutes?
we
Okay.
had today and tomorrow to write this essay, and I think like 70% of the people finished it today.
Mhm.
So that means the people who do need more time tomorrow are going to finish probably in like 5 minutes.
I don't know where we're going to do that, period.
Tell them what you wrote about. I want the podcast into this.
Okay. Am I explaining the entire problem? Because I still have it memorized.
Don't, just because we don't.
Okay. I memorized a physics problem. I memorized, I forgot the number of it, but it was from the June Regents of 2017 in the little booklet that Mr. Heisel gave us. It was something about light, right? So I memorized all the numbers and everything, and I just wrote that down in the most complicated way I could so that it filled up as much space as possible. The first paragraph was the intro, right? The second paragraph was explaining how to find the wavelength. Third paragraph was explaining how to correctly measure an angle with a protractor. Fourth paragraph was just Snell's law, simple stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And then you had the
course.
conclusion.
Yeah, you had to write about a problem he encountered, so he wrote a literal problem.
I didn't know what else to write about. That was
I
the
wrote-
first idea I got.
I wrote about how I almost failed Spanish in 8th grade. Could you believe I managed to squeeze 5 paragraphs of almost failing Spanish? My 4th paragraph was like 3/4 of a page.
I feel like most of the people have almost failed part of Spanish, at least 1 year.
What was your year?
What was mine the first year?
No, like what year did you almost fail?
All 3.
Almost all 3? I actually got better as the year went on.
Yeah, I did too for some reason, and especially on the finals, that really showed.
Yeah, I got like an 84 on the Spanish 3 final. I was so
On the
surprised.
Spanish 3 final, I forgot how to conjugate most words and how conjugations worked, and
Yeah, you told me about this.
I found a way around it in the essays.
Yeah, I feel like the essays were actually kind of easy because even if you didn't know like certain past tense like particle or whatever, participle, not particle. Jesus, I really hope they can't hear that loud beep on the mic.
I do too.
I don't think they can.
I want to
but
know what that thing is.
I could ask my mother, but I don't even know if she knows. Oh, you know what? I bet it's our fire alarm.
Why does it squeak?
Just to know, just let you know it's working.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, don't forget about me, guys.
I'll protect you.
What were we talking about?
Spanish 3 final.
Oh yeah, you can kind of just like measle your way through that with like Spanish 1 knowledge. To be
Mhm.
honest. Yeah, I got like a 74 on, or like 73 or something on the Spanish 2. I got an 84 on the Spanish 3, and I got a 67 on the Spanish 1. Oh.
Are we done?
I mean, we can keep going if you want, but you know, we should probably wrap it up a little bit.
Yeah, we should wrap it up soon at least. We don't want to go too far over the 1 hour mark.
Mm-hmm.
What was the last
Wait, who's
episode?
Mark?
Wasn't the last episode like a minute? Not a minute. An hour and a minute or something like that?
I think it was a little less than an hour. I think it was like 58 or 59 or something. I also didn't start that timer until like 2 minutes we were going in because I forgot.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm really glad we made this second episode. I mean, it
I
was a
am
long
too.
time coming. I mean, like I said, it hasn't been a year since we uploaded the first episode, but it has been a year since we recorded
And
it.
it's going to be a year since we recorded the third.
That's a lie. We'll see you next week.
On the next annual episode
Yeah, the next.
of the
Yes.
Somewhat Minty podcast.
All right, everybody. Stay fresh.